Pastor Hank Kuhneman, One Voice Ministries. We are coming to you live right here from NRB, National Religious Broadcasters, Nashville. It's live, coming to you 2019. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I have a great friend of mine that I want you to meet. This is Norris Hall. He's also with us. Norris, you can greet everybody.
Hello, hello.
And I'm so honored that you joined us today because man, it's live. There's people walking by. When I said 2019, I was only joking. It is actually 2022, and we are thrilled because God gave us something, Norris, that I really believe is going to touch multitudes of people around the world, and that's why I'm so glad that you're joining us today. And it has to do with really the heart of God, Norris, when it comes to children. And I've always said this, you know, God loves children because he's called the Father. And then we see the example with Jesus where the children were coming to sit on Jesus's lap, to be around him. And of course, you know, others kind of tried to push the children away. And Jesus said, hey, don't stop the children from coming unto me. And so there's something very special, Norris, that God is doing with children. And so you are Norris Hall, but I call you Norris Hall of Fame. And I really always tease Norris, and I say, you look just like Kenny Rogers.
Oh, yeah,
put that in the comments. Don't you think he looks like Kenny Rogers? But you want to greet the people?
Hello, 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 hello. So good to be here. Great to be here at NRB. NRB, yes, yeah, that's it.
I almost messed it up as I was trying to say. NRB, National Religious Broadcasters.
Yeah, this is great.
It's really good.
Met a lot of great folks.
But Norris, I met you years ago after really a season in my life that I was kind of frustrated because I wanted to be a cartoonist. Now I call you Norris Hall of Fame. His name, as I said, is Norris Hall. And I call him Hall of Fame because he's an amazing illustrator. And so I wanted to be a cartoonist, Norris. I drew all the cartoon characters sitting in front of the TV. And I guess that you used to do the same thing.
I did. From comic books, TV, everything. I would sit there and try and copy the characters.
So what age were you when you started drawing? Because I was like 6, 7, somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's my parents kept some of my early stuff from age 6, 7.
They still have it?
Well, they don't, but I do.
I bet it's as amazing as it is today.
No, it's pretty rough. But it's fun to look back at that.
Yeah. Did you ever get into pictures? Did you ever have anything like that?
I did have problems with that. Yes. I'd filled my notebooks full of drawings and not very many notes.
Well, Norris is not only a great illustrator, but he's also great at caricatures, and so I can imagine what yours probably looked like. You know, so, but anyway, I wanted to say this. So, about maybe 5 years ago, I got saved in 1984. So really, it would have been 1984. So, I mean, how many years ago is that? I mean, help me out here. 30 some years ago.
I don't know.
Anyway, you got to figure it out that are watching. That's a long time. And anyway, I had a dream, and in the dream, I saw a character being drawn in front of me. So I went to my little easel that I had in my room, and I began to sketch our first character, Mutsby, and his little companion, Milo. And this came to me back in 1984, and I sat on it for a long time. Of course, Norris, you are a way better illustrator than I am, and you bring the characters to a whole nother realm with your talent. But I got these characters in 1984, started developing children's books, and then several years later, the next series that Norris has been so great to help me with is the Captain Zepto series. We're going to talk about that with you in just a moment because we're actually putting together our first animated film. And Norris has been great working on the comic books. That's what I'm holding in my hand. In fact, when God gave me this character, Captain Zepto, if you notice the hair, Norris, do you notice the hair?
I noticed.
So every time you draw that hair, who does it remind you of, Norris?
Well, let me think. Maybe he's sitting next to me. I don't know.
Captain Hank, a.k.a. Zepto, right? So anyway, how this came about, and I think I probably shared this story with you, but for those of you that are watching, you're probably wondering, well, how did you come up with Captain Zepto? Well, and I love Norris because, you know, I can, sketch out a character, and he helps me to add all the details and the features. But this character was very unique because Brenda, my wife, I've been married 33 years. Norris is getting ready for a meeting that we were preaching at, and so it only had one mirror. And come on, you've been married how long?
A long time. Long time.
So you don't share a mirror with the wife. Does
No.
it work?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't work. You ladies know what we're talking about. But anyway, what happened is I went to the other room and I was blow drying my hair. That was back in the days of like mullets. Where it looks like, you know, the Red Sea and Moses was there, you know, and you got this big part, you know, down the side. I had hair down to here, you know. And so I was blow drying my hair like this, and I came back, and Brenda said to me, she says, "You can't be serious, are you?" And I said, "What do you mean? Is there something wrong with my outfit?" She said, "Look at your hair." And I looked in the mirror, and Norris, Captain Zepto's hair appeared. And Brenda, my wife, she said, "You know, Hank, you ought to go, and that's a character." And so I immediately sketched it out. And then, anyway, so I got to tell you this. So I started writing these stories and developing the characters, and I felt like the Lord said, "Wait." Do you know how many years I waited?
It's been a while.
It was a while, yeah, 20 years
20,
I
oh,
waited. Yeah. And I felt like the timing was very important to God. So then, fast forward, I met you how many years ago?
About 3 or 4 years ago, I
About
believe.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I knew of Norris from an amazing children's book author. And you could pronounce her name for me.
Sheila Booth Alberstadt.
Yeah, and the names of her books that you've illustrated are?
Maggie McNair series.
You got to find Maggie McNair. She has something up her nose, or I forget, what's the name of the title?
Well, they're Maggie McNair, get your finger out of there.
Yeah, get your finger out of there. So you can look them up. But I want to give honor to Sheila, because she was the one that introduced me to you 4 years ago, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I was a little, like, I wasn't sure, because I'm like, you know, Lord, I've been waiting. Can this guy really take all of these characters and stories and things that God had given to me and really bring them to another level? And the minute I talked to you, Norris, on the phone, I felt a connection that is really a unique connection that I think is reflected in every comic book that we have. And Brenda, you know, my wife, she laughs when you and I get together on the phone.
Right.
Because I think we laugh at ourselves. I mean,
yeah, we almost have too much fun doing these.
so whenever you read the comic books or you see the animation, you will see Norris and I, how we just, I don't know, we get together, it's like peanut butter and jelly, but we have this going joke, you know, I'm a preacher, and Norris identifies himself as what?
The hippie.
Kind of the hippie. And so we have the preacher and the hippie. Hi there, good to see you, bless you. Make sure you get a comic book. But anyway, so the hippie and the preacher get together, the two least likely connections. But there's something of God when we come together. The creativity goes to another level. The humor goes to another level. But what I'm excited about, and I want to ask you this question, Norris, when you illustrate these characters, what really touches your heart? I mean, you've drawn, I don't know how many illustrations, characters, but what is it about these characters that you find unique or touches your heart?
Well, I love them all, and I love the way that they came about.
Yeah.
And I love that there's like a part of me and a part of you both in each one, because the way we collaborate is so much fun. Yeah. And you know, we disagree every now and then, which is good.
Yeah, it's
you know, it makes it work, I think. And but anyway, yeah, I've always wanted to do a series of comic books like this.
Yeah.
And when I finally got to do it, it was just,
it's amazing.
It's great.
You know what I love is when Norris and I get together, and you know, I roll out the script, and you know, him and I, he won't laugh. And I'll be like, Norris, this is absolutely hilarious. I read it to my dog. They bark, they whine, and they ask to go outside. That's the sign. And Norris will just look at me like, well, I don't get the joke. How many times? I don't get the joke. I'm like, Norris, this is funny. My dogs like it. But anyway, but we will keep working it, and eventually we get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, can I tell you, though, one of my favorite parts of the comic books, and of course, this is the first one that we wrote. This is called The Galactic Quest of Captain Zepto, The Island of Doom. And so this was the first one in the series. And then the second one we have is called The Galactic Quest of Captain Zepto, and disturbance in the galaxy about the negatoids. And this was a lot of fun for us to write it about how these little things from Dr. Zorb, the bad guy on the bottom, he creates these things that you see kind of swirling around called the negatoids, and they speak, you know, negative things into people's ears, and they do negative things. So this is the second one. And then we followed it up with a Christmas story. This one is hilarious. Hey, listen, Christmas is only about a little over 9 months away, so you've got time to get your Christmas edition, right?
Yeah.
But this is the Christmas one, the Galactic Quest of the Crooked King Caper. But I got to tell you, my favorite part of our comic books, and Norris, I think this is the part where you and I probably laugh the most, is we call it fake ads. So you want to tell us about fake ads?
Yeah, there's some fake ads right there.
Here, I want to show them the one though, where they still have time to order it in time for Christmas being only 9 months away. Where's it at? Let me find it. Remember the one that here
there
it is.
it is.
Okay.
There it is.
So this one, you have time to order it. So Norris, right there on the bottom, it's a Christmas light untangler. Come on. Can you point it out to him?
Yes, right here.
The
Order
Christmas
yours
light,
today.
the Christmas light untangler.
Save hours of untangling with this cutting-edge device.
Yeah.
And there's testimonials down here. I was shocked at how well it worked. And let's see, what else does it say? Your fingers there. Okay, make sure lights are not plugged in when using the untangler.
Okay.
Lights will no longer function after using the untangler. But hey, it'll get those lights untangled for sure.
So here's what's so funny about it. This is a Christmas light untangler. You got time to order it. And my niece, who's probably like 7 years old, she looked at that. She goes, I want one of those because I have some untangling to do with my lights. And her older sister, I don't know what Katie, 10, 11, goes, those are scissors. And I said, no, they're Christmas light untanglers. But the fake ads are hilarious. Now, you're illustrating, almost done. I won't ever do this to you again.
Thank you.
Yes. And it was a 48-page, so most of these are 32 pages. And here's why you need to get it. Think about all the stuff that they're throwing at your kids nowadays, whether it be by television, the media, or what they're having to, be taught in school. What I love about what we've written here and illustrated and created is where you laugh again, parent, and you are safe with your child. In other words, there's not any hidden, things in here that's going to try to, sway your kids. It's just good humor, laughter, biblical themes. I have a Jewish family that I gave these to. They're handing them out to other Jewish friends. They came to me and said, thank you for making a Jewish comic book. I said, what are you talking about? They said, well, King Elyon, that's the name of the king, which means Almighty God. Then I gave it away to some, I'll just say, in case if they see this, non-professing, religious people, heathen-like. So they came and thanked me and said, thank you for not making a religious book. We laugh so hard. When are the next ones coming out? And then, of course, we have Christians who love Jesus like Norris and I do, who are thanking me for great biblical, moral themes, stories. But we are working on our comic book. I won't do this to you again. It's 48 pages and expanded inflated edition. You're almost done. You remember the name of it? No, you're falling asleep. And then we're going to tell them the most exciting part. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you exciting part.
Yeah, I have to stay up all night working on it.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot the question. But
all right. Okay.
I can't wait.
So it's called the Cosmic Inflation. But here's what I want to tell you. I want you to pay attention right now. Coming September 1st, all of these characters are going to be on our first 28-minute video. And it's going to have a theme song. It's going to have singing. We've got some amazing voiceovers. So I want you to go ahead and look. Right now, we're going to show the short trailer of the video, our first one that's coming out September 1. Here you go. Let's watch the trailer.
It's 2000 and tomorrow. Somewhere in a galaxy far, far away. Well, not too far away. A planet was about to feel the fury of...
Me, Dr. Zorb.
Master of mischief and mayhem. A control rule the universe by absorbing the minds of the innocent by means of his crooked cane of foggy.
Nothing can stop me or my negatoids from infecting the minds of children everywhere! Except me, you diabolical doctor of deceit. Captain Zepto!
Space hero and commander of King Elyon's Light Brigade. With a solar-sized ego, he has a big heart to protect the innocent and to serve the king.
And with my Zeptosonic zillion-watt blow dryer, which gives me a stunning look with not one hair out of place, I might add, will stop you in your galactic tracks. Not this time, Captain Zero.
Will evil triumph in the universe? Will Captain Zepto save the day?
And blast!
From the popular comic by Hank Kuhneman and Norris Hall comes a wacky and witty new animated series of good versus evil. A series that will have kids laughing while equipping them for their own fight against the powers of darkness.
That evil menace won't budge. I may have to turn up the heat.
Sensor overload. Warning. Sensor overload.
Captain, wait! I have the answer! W-O-R-D. The writing of right doing.
Not now, my planetary poodle. I'm trying to figure out how to stop Zorb and his negatoids before they infect the children of Arth.
That's Earth, Cap.
Just as I said.
What will happen next? Will Dr. Zorb infect the children of Earth with his no-good negatoids? Will Zepto follow the instructions in the writing of right doing? Join Hank and Norris today and help Captain Zepto and his team save the children of Earth. Call now and get your Zeptosonic zillion-watt blow dryer available for only 999 small payments of $14.95 on the internet everywhere. Available at fine salons, nowhere, not even available at bad salons. Not responsible for intergalactic power outages, noise complaints, or even hair losses. Buy now and we'll include an authentic Zepto styling brush for free, plus shipping and no handling.
It's 2000 and tomorrow, and you joined us here at NRB in Nashville, Tennessee. There you go. So anyway, I wonder who the narrator is.
I think I recognize that voice.
So anyway, I hope you know what? I'm so glad that you were able to join the trailer right here at NRB. But we're so excited. This is coming out actually September 1 this year, and be watching. More information is going to come, how we can get this into your hands. Listen, we are still desiring those of you that say, you know what, Pastor Hank and Norris, I want to get behind this project. You know, listen, we need every cent, penny, dollar to make this happen, because not only am I going to do just one video, I really want to do, right when this one's released, I want to do 2 more and get those ready to roll. Of course, it's not free, but the person who is behind all of the producing and getting this moving is a guy, no stranger, Dr. Zorb. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Dr. Zorb. Don't you see the likeness?
Now,
I mean,
was that modeled after me, guys?
Look at the likeness, Paul. Look at, no, it wasn't. I just thought I'd throw you off like I always do.
Well, all comic books.
Paul Crouch Jr., welcome.
you.
Let's give him a hand. Let's give him a hand around the world. All the NRB fans out there, they're giving him a hand.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, 4 people clap.
4 people. Listen, it's more than what I had, so there you go. No. Anyway, Paul, tell us, September 1, there's a process. Where are we at in this project, just to kind of give people an update?
Well, what I want to say very quickly is, first of all, I want to honor both of you two, because this has been a 25-year dream.
Yes, it has.
And
25
and
years.
what it takes, guys, to do, I guess, good stories, you've got to have good ideas. You've got to have good characters. You have to have good versus evil. You know,
that's
all of that in these stories. But going from a comic book, and I can tell you for a fact, going from a comic book to full animation from what you saw is a little like going from a Piper Cub to a 747. So it's a lot of animation, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of money. You've got voices, music, sound effects. I mean, this is kind of a first for you too, isn't it?
It is. I'm looking so forward to it as well.
But I would say we're in the process. We're building the factory, and very soon we're going to be pushing not just one episode, but Hank, I think the dream is to have dozens and dozens and dozens of episodes.
Well, think about this. How many times that you've wanted to just sit down and be able to have your child watch, television, good, laughing, identifiable characters, good, solid, funny messages that are going to teach your kids some good things. And then Mom, you're able to walk away and not worry about what your kid's watching and or what they're going to repeat, Paul. And so this is what we are doing. And, I grew up with Norris. I think you're probably too old for television to remember, but I'm just teasing. I love Paul. I think I think Paul's a terrific guy. I think you're huge. But anyway, but I used to sit down on Saturday mornings, and that's all I did was watch cartoons. Why can't we recapture that again?
I know. You and I grew up on what? Bugs Bunny, the Jetsons.
Exactly.
Flintstones. And
Speed Buggy was one of my favorites.
Yeah, and for the most part, it was wholesome. It wasn't necessarily Christian.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, honestly, the other day, I have grandkids now, and they're watching some of the worst garbage on Saturday morning. Even the innocence of SpongeBob SquarePants, where you think it's innocent. They're teaching things that are absolutely anti-biblical.
But you know what, Paul? This is why, I want to give your child, come on, grandmas, I want to give your grandkids a choice that you can actually have good, wholesome entertainment. That's what we're taking back. We just started OVTV.
Right.
And the reason I did that is I was thinking about this. Look at how many times Jesus was in the synagogues or the temple, and he kept getting censored. They would throw him out. They would try to, shut down his voice. So he would go to a rock, or he would go and teach out of a boat. Why? So that his voice and what God gave him could have full expression.
Right.
And so that's what we're doing. But I'm going to tell you this, and this is so important. Paul, you're going to be part of this also with Norris.
Right.
It's not just Captain Zepto, but this is also a younger series called The Adventures of Mutsvi and Milo.
Right.
We got a new book coming out. You're getting ready to illustrate called Treehouse SSO. It's a secret what SSO stands for. But this is going to be another series. Then, I don't know if we can show them, but this is the other series that's coming out. Right here on the bottom, it's called P.I. Gus, Detective at Large. All of this we want to put into animation so that we can continue to give you and your child a choice.
Right.
Especially when they are very blatant about their agenda.
Yes.
The evil side. I mean, they really
Agreed.
are. And we need to be just as bold about what we want to do. And just before you came, I was talking about the trailer, because I know there's some people that you're saying, well, how can I help? So, Paul, what are some ways that they can help besides, obviously purchasing the comic books? You can go to hankandbrenda.org is one great way. But also the animated film. How can they say, you know what, I want to break open my piggy bank. I want to help.
Well, that's the issue. In fact, there's been a vacuum in Christian television and media with animation because of the expense. It's so much cheaper to do a church program or a talk show or something like that. Listen, folks, animation is hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's very expensive.
It's not tens of thousands. But just think of the eternal impact.
It is.
This could get the next Billy Graham saved.
Yeah.
This could get the next, Corey Ten Boom to focus on faith. I mean, we never know when we plant seeds into content like this. Folks, it's all about content. Distribution has changed dramatically in 30 years. Norris, I guess when we all started, the only way to watch TV was with rabbit ears, wirelessly. You had VHF and UHF.
And some good foil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get the foil on it.
And your little brother to sit there and hold it
to be the connection.
and be the antenna. But now with everybody in the country, everybody in the world, Hank, has a TV set strapped.
Yeah, no, it is true.
Strapped to their waist.
Yeah, that is true.
And
that's the way to
this
go.
is our job now, and our job, if you will partner with us, to get wholesome content for the next generation.
And as you are desiring, you can send an offering to hankandbrenda.org. Just put, TV animation project. Hey, I got somebody here.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife, Brenda 33 years.
Come
here.
Get me out of here. Here, come here.
Come back around here. So this is my beautiful lady. And so Brenda, how does it feel to be married to Captain Zepto?
I'm telling you, it's a hard life. I promise you that. But I will tell you, I don't know what they were talking about when I walked up. I was
talking about Captain Zepto's hair.
But I'm going to say this. I am so excited about what is happening with these comic books. Now, I've been walking the floor.
And we got Norris here.
And
so
Norris, our illustrator, we love him so much. I've been walking the floor here at NRB, and people are so excited. Everybody I talk to, I've done 2 interviews now. Talking about what God is doing. Yes, it's a busy day, but what God is doing with children's entertainment. And I really believe with all my heart that we are taking back a generation. We are giving parents, and I just spoke to one person that's a producer at one group, and they said, they have a 2-year-old. And here's what's amazing. They said, I just wish there was something that my kids could look at, and I don't have to worry about what the content is.
Tell them about Captain Zepto, Mutsby, and Milo P.I.
What the content, they want something that parents can trust, that if they turn on the TV screen or the video, they don't have to think about, oh my goodness, well, what is it?
So we showed the trailer, and you came at a good time because there's people out there, some grandmas, some mamas, some fathers, grandpas, just some really good people that want to help us. So, Brenda, how can they help us? Because Paul was mentioning that these videos, they don't cost, $1. They cost thousands of dollars to produce, which, by faith, I'm just doing it. But tell them how they can connect if they want to help us because of that first video that is coming out September 1. We're in the process. Listen, the animator comes, I have to write out a check, so I want to be able to people who have a desire to help.
We're just looking for partners, people that feel the same passion that we feel to help children. So you can go to hankandbrenda.org and say you want to become a partner with One Voice Ministries, and we are taking those revenues and we are starting and launching a whole children's outlet. And we're going to be talking more about Great Adventures Productions and what that means. But we just need anybody that you feel led. I'm just going to get behind the ministry at hankandbrenda.org, donate today. And I really believe that we are going to absolutely kick it in the devil's face for what he has tried to do, Hank, to a generation. And I love what you and Norse do. And of course, I got to say this, because I listen to you guys on the phone while I'm like doing dishes and cooking. And I listen to you guys
what happened to these guys?
Talk about these comics. And I'm telling you, I'm laughing as I'm going around the house.
That's what we want people to laugh.
But this is so good. And that was another thing I told so many people, Hank and Norris, on the floor today about the children's books, that people just need to laugh again.
They do.
It's nothing wrong with writing another Bible story.
That's why Norris and I, Brenda, we put our pictures on the back of our books so that you can laugh at Norris and I are in the front. Look at you can laugh at Norris and I. But here's the thing. I just want to say this. Help us today.
Yes.
We wanted to come to you to tell you about the exciting things that are happening for your child, a child that you know. But here's the other thing. We are not just stopping at comic books, children's books. We are not stopping even at children's animation. We are looking at, action figures. I remember the old Action Jackson. Remember that? Our characters aren't going to have the stiff knees and legs that you couldn't move and they'd break off. You remember that? Captain Zepto's legs will never break.
Well, it's exciting too.
We have a whole new animation
because
toys.
Parents, that's another thing parents want. I remember when our kids were little, first thing we went to is the toy store to try to buy the toy from the movie. I think that's
one where the toy where the head won't spin around, the eyes pop out,
it's not
a lizard tongue comes out. These are going to be great toys.
It's awesome.
So anyway, well, listen, I want to sign off. We've got some people that I want to meet. It looks like out here at NRB and National Religious Broadcasting.
And tell people, share this, and let somebody know about the stuff.
And listen, don't forget, tomorrow night, we're going to be live right here in Nashville for Flashpoint, 7 p.m. Thursday, where we talk about really what God is doing around the world in America, and I want you to join us for that. Also, don't forget OVTV, Brenda. How can they connect to that?
So I think it's onevoicetv.net is the splash page,
Yeah.
and you can get in there and sign up
Okay.
for a free drawing for an iPad, and I love it. We're doing our own platform, so
I
we
told him
can't
about
be
that.
deplatformed. I love it.
We have our own platform, so we cannot be deplatformed. Norris, my man, you're going to hang out with me, right? Norris came
We
to
love Norris.
came to buy me lunch, but he told me he forgot his wallet.
It's crazy, right? That happens.
What's that about, Norris? All right, hey, we love you. We'll see you soon, and help us to reach your child or a child that you know. And I'll tell you, I'm so happy. God is a father. He's happy too. And so let's get it done for him. God bless you. We love you. Signing off.
Bless you guys.
All right.